Hello, it's good to see you again. I'm Stephen Peterson, and this program is Patterns for Progress. And people are always saying, what's a pattern? Well, there used to be, I guess there still are pattern stores. I never went in any, but there used to be a lot more of them back in the 60s and 70s. And you'd get a pattern, and a pattern for, I don't think there was a pattern for shoes, but, pants or shirts or blouse or dress. But we live in patterns. And if you don't like to call them patterns, there's principles, there's practices, there's habits, there's routines. And by the time you get to be an adult, I think we're just about chock full of patterns, habits, routines. And so here's my phone, and it's turned off, so there'll be no phone calls. But I went to add an app to my phone the other day, and it said, you don't have any room. You're going to have to delete some things. And I went, that's perfect. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Before you pick up a new pattern, a principle, a practice, a routine, a habit, you're going to have to identify one that doesn't work anymore, you don't want anymore, or maybe it never worked, and throw it out. Get rid of it, delete it. I don't need my phone, it's turned off anyway. But delete that thing. Get it, and on the phone I can easily delete something. I couldn't find anything I wanted to delete, but there's, you can delete something, or you can add more memory. And people think, well, I'll just add one more pattern, one more habit, one more routine. No. You're chock full. There's no more room. Something has to be deleted. Before you can download something new, you're going to have to get rid of something old. It's out with the old and in with the new. And we're not throwing everything out. One thing. And it can't be hard. It just can't. Here's how I know you have room. When somebody says, I have no more time to do anything. Oh, yeah, you do. The smartest people, the most productive people in the world have the same amount of time per day as the least productive people. It's 24 hours. You can't get more time. But you can take something out that's taking your time, that's a time waster. It's not producing what you want, and put something new in it. So that's what this whole program is. And these are not strengths for me. I'm a spontaneous person. I've got 5. I don't think we have time to do 5. And I'm telling you, do one at a time. One at a time. One at a time. Focus. And if it's just incremental change at the start, after just a few weeks, you might see some rather big results just because you changed. One pattern, one path. It can be a path. You're going down this direction, you go, I don't like the way I'm going. I see other people along the way, and and I see nothing but heartache and pain and misery. I don't want to go down this path. Get a new pattern. Get a new pattern. And if you're complaining about your parents or your family or the man is holding you back, my parents didn't, you are definitely in need of a new pattern, a new practice, a new principle, a new routine. And so, remember, make room, you got to throw out one, put in a new one. Now, the first one is one I'm doing. None of these have I tried out except the first one, and it works. I don't do it every day because it isn't, because of this program, I'll go, I want to do this, and and before you know it, I'm working on 3, which means I'm working on none. So I'll do one pattern, one new habit, one new routine for a couple of days, and then I'll forget that and do something. And before you know it, I look back 2 weeks later, and I have made no progress in any area, one at a time. This one works. I know it. And it's called hit the snooze button. None of these 5 are original with me. I'm constantly reading for practices and patterns and habits and routines, trying to find something that'll work for me and try to find something that'll work for you. We're not the same person. We don't have the same goals. What you want out of life is probably different than so it's going to take a new pattern, a different pattern than mine. But this one I've done, and I can't say it's a habit yet. I can't say it's a routine, but especially on stressful days that are coming up, I do this. And the pattern is called hit the snooze button. In other words, have everything ready the night before for the next busy day. There's 2 or 3 days a week. My days are just slant, and I love being busy. But when I get too busy, I don't accomplish what I want to, especially if I don't do this. And remember, it's called hit the snooze button. You get everything ready, what you're going to wear, the books you need. And those busy, busy days, I've got 3 different sets of books. I put them all there. I put my computer right, and I pick out what I'm going to wear ahead of time. Even the shoes. I don't want to make any decisions. I even pick out what I'm going to eat the night before. So I know I do this. And you know what? I get ready in half the time and probably a tenth of the stress because I'm not running. Where did this go? I put it where it should be the night before. Now, the person, and I got this out of the book, they do this 7 days a week. Well, I haven't done that yet, but I'm telling you, on those days that are extra stressful, in other words, I'm trying to put 18 hours worth of work in 12 hours worth of day, hit the snooze button. Get it all prepared. The one who did this more than anybody was Steve Jobs. I don't know what he had, 50 black suits and 50 black t-shirts and the same shoes. He wore the same thing every day, and he's not the only ultra successful person who did that. Didn't want to spend any energy, any time on what he was going to wear. He liked the way he looked in it. He looked good in it. And now I imagine if you wear a black t-shirt with a suit and a pair of sneakers, you've got the Steve Jobs look. I don't know. But pick it out ahead of time. Get it ready. You will sleep better too. Because you won't be, the other morning I woke up at 4 in the morning because I forgot to do something. And I said, make yourself a note. Well, what note am I going to remember at 4 in the morning when I didn't remember at 10 o'clock the night before? So I tried to write myself, that's the opposite of hitting the snooze button. And here's a second one, and this one, you may not like it, but it's in so many different books, and it's called Eat Well. It's the pattern of eating well. You don't go shopping for groceries when you're hungry, and you write down a list of things that are healthy for you. Let's see, 6 bags of chips and 5 different kinds of cookies. If that's what you want to do, but I'm telling you, that's called the law of inevitability. You're going to have problems somewhere down the road because I had a friend who said, I don't count calories. And somebody said back to him while I was staying there, well, then you're counting pounds. I don't care if you do this to lose weight. I'd rather be healthy. Listen, I got some new patterns and practices and habits and routines that are not easy for me to do. And it's all on eating healthier. So when you make your list for the store, don't be hungry when you do it, and don't be hungry when you go shopping. But write down. In fact, the book said write down things that make you healthy and happy. In my life, the things that make me happy aren't the things that make me healthy. But I think if I go on this pattern a little longer, the healthier will actually bring me happiness. I'm telling you, it's no fun to be sick. It's no fun to have your body break down, and I'm not putting anybody down who's going through it. But if you've got an option, make that list out. I'm going to eat healthier. I'm going to put it down, and I'm not going to deviate because the store I go to more times than any, if I do want a bag of chips, a holiday's coming up, it'll say, well, 1 bag is $4, but 3 bags are $5. I don't want 3 bags. I'll eat them. I don't want them. I want 1. In fact, just at the store the other day, it was a package of meat. And the cashier said, well, you could get 3 more packages for just $15 more and it'd be a better deal. I said, it's not a better deal if I throw it all away. I had my list to eat healthier. That's my list. And you make it when you're not hungry and you make it when you're at home. So you hit the snooze button, you eat well, but you also have to clear some space. Remember my phone that I didn't have room on my phone to add 1 new simple app, because I had too much. So to add that, I had to get rid of another app or 2 or 3. And when you look at them, you go, I meant to use this, but I have no more room. And here's something. I love this idea. Have not done it. If you could see, the great thing about TV, you can only see what's right here. If you could see what's all around you, this place is the opposite. It's called Get Into the Zone. And wherever your work area is, at home or work or both, I have 3 different basic things I do all week. And they're not interrelated. And so this person in this book said, get into the zone and have your work area. Use me for example. 3 different jobs. This one would be for television, and this one would be for something that's not television, and this one would be for the third. And they don't touch. Everything I need to get something done. I would love to do this. I would love to. But I tend to be a collector. Right around me, I'm not gonna let anybody zoom and let you see this, but there's notes. Don't forget to say this, and don't forget to say that, and extra this and extra. Yeah. See, I can tell you what doesn't work. I don't know that this works. I haven't done it, but it just sounds like a little slice of heaven to me. Maybe you only have one job, but over here is your job, and maybe here's your bills, whatever. But get that work zone set up so when you sit down, you don't have to, oh man, I've read this so many places. As much as 80% of your time is spent looking for a document, a piece of paper, something, so you can get your job done. That's the opposite of getting into the work zone. Now, here's one that somebody very near and dear to me would love, and this one's called cleanup. You only do it on the weekend. And it said, go through the house and give away everything you haven't been using. Give away everything that doesn't bring you joy. I don't know if I could do that because I like looking at things, seeing things. I've got little knickknacks all around me and a couple of things behind me. I don't know if you ever pay attention to it. They bring me joy. But there probably is come on. Most of us have stuff that we don't need anymore. If it's not giving you joy, if somebody else said, if you haven't used it in the last 90 days, you don't need it. Now, you don't have to do this, and I don't want anybody telling me I should do it. See, I'm not telling you should do it. This is just something that can help you. Every study I see, less clutter, more productivity. Less clutter, more creativity. And then I didn't know we were going to do all 5, but this one, I like this one. And it's once a week. Share a meal with your family in the home, not eating out. But you make sure, I don't care if you take an hour, if you take 45 minutes or 90 minutes, but at least once a week, we're going to get the whole family together. We're going to share a meal. We're going to put our phones down. Say it's possible. My phone is turned off and on the floor. Put that phone down, and we're just going to spend family time. Now, I know some families would say, "Oi, that would not be good." But more than likely, it's because you've gone too long without ever doing that. So any one of those things can really set you up for a better week. These are 5 things. And again, this is a best-selling book. I'm stealing these ideas. Well, I'm not taking credit, so I'm not stealing. But these are 5 ideas that'll make you more creative, more productive, and happier if you do any one. And again, you got to remember, before you add a habit, before you add a new practice or routine or principle or anything like that, you must get rid of something that you're not using, or it's not producing like you want. It's not making you happy. Maybe you've got the habit of, well, I'm going to sleep in as long as I can. But then you also have the habit that you're speeding, you're rushing to work, you could be getting ulcers, and more than likely, most of the time, you're showing up late. I loved being in work and being places at the last possible second. But you know what? After doing that for years, I don't like that. I like getting there a little early. I like getting there with a whole lot less stress. So it's just a practice, a pattern, a principle, a habit, a routine that can make you more successful and more productive. That's what this whole program is about. Patterns for Practice with Stephen Peterson. We have a YouTube channel, amazingly, same name. Patterns for Progress, not practice. Patterns for Progress at YouTube. Patterns for Progress with Stephen Peterson. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next week.